Give it to me, baby. Hello. Welcome. Hi. Good to see you. Wow. Look, it's going to be a great day. Welcome to the Jaybefaunt channel. I am your host, James Fauntleroy. So good to see all of you here on this Saturday. The Jaybefaunt channel is available on all major podcast platforms, so go ahead and subscribe there. Also part of the Revolutionary Blackout Network, so you can see me there on Sundays and Thursdays. If you have not already, please go ahead and give the stream a like. That pushes me out into the algorithm. This is the special color that we're doing today because this is a special announcement. So yes, it's not my usual teal, but it's so good to see all of you here. If you guys have not already, you guys can go to jaybefaunt.substack.com so you guys can get those email notifications whenever I go live, upload clips, or write any articles, or have a special live stream like this one. So yes, absolutely, so good to see all of you here that's in the chat and accounted for. Just going to say hello to a few people in the chat while I'm at it. Good to see everybody here. We have, starting off, Miguel coming in and saying peace. Good to see you, Miguel. Nice to have you. We have Miss Janice coming in, the lady with the fire hair. I love it. Good to see you. She says hello to Miguel. How you doing today? All right. How you doing? All right. We have Myra coming in saying hello. Hi. Everybody's giving Miguel some love. Go ahead and give Miguel some love. C. Mitchell says, hey, y'all. Oh my goodness, good to see you. We have Amanda coming in saying, JB, a great news, sounds fantastic. And seeing you is fantastic too. R.I.P. Rafael Alarir says, heart eyes, good to see you. Sean, the Accord Lord FYT Miller says, yo, good to see you. We have Jacqueline coming in saying, hey, everyone, good to see you. Javier coming in saying, hello with the pink hands. Bryce Smith says, sup, JB, sup, Bryce, my brother from another mother. Good to see you. We have Miguel saying hello to me. Hello, Miguel. All right. Notori coming in saying waves and hearts. Good to see you, sister, from another mister. All right. We have Retro Gamer. Whoop. There we go. We have Retro Gamer coming in saying hello. Good to see you. Give money says hi, hi. Hi, hi back. All right. Who else we got up in here? Killian Grigor is coming and saying, good morning, all. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. All right. The Quantum Alchemist says, hi, everyone, and JB. Hello, Quantum Alchemist. Soul Construct coming in saying, sup, JB? Sup, Soul? Good to see you. All right, we got you coming in. Sakudo coming and saying, you're all right, Sakudo. Dwayne coming in saying, howdy, y'all. Howdy, Dwayne. Nice to see you. Robbie Burns coming in saying, sup, James. Sup, Robbie. All right, who else we got up in here? Who else? Just to say hello. Harry coming in saying, what's the good news, James? Well, I'm going to tell you. All right. So while we're here, while we're at the subject at hand, I am going to share the news that I have been wanting to share for a couple of days now. I've been kind of keeping it on the wraps. Only a couple people know, but what in the world am I talking about? Great news, special announcement. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about really quick was about give or take almost 2 months ago, I gave the announcement that my landlord was selling the place where I'm living. And they gave us 60 days to leave. With that being said, that put myself and my mother under great stress. And it wasn't because they were selling it because we were bad tenants. They weren't selling it because, we did anything wrong. It's all on them. Given my history of renting, I have never been late. I have never missed a payment. They have never had any complaints about noise. They have never had any complaints about pretty much anything for the most part. We have been really good tenants. Rental history is pretty much immaculate. But still, we're getting the boot. And being that I'm disabled and on a fixed income, and my mother is elderly on a fixed income, you can see how that would put us in a bind, and you know how that would be so jarring for the both of us. So in order to move, because of being on a fixed income, we raise money for us to help in that. Thank you so much to everybody who has helped out so far. That was a major help. And the search started for looking for a place. One of the biggest issues is, and I spoke about this before, is that when you're on a fixed income, especially with the housing costs being so high right now, just looking for a new place to live is a job in itself. Because when you are looking for a new place, you have to have money for the application fees. Application fees can range from $40 to $75 per person per apartment. So with two people, that's between $80 and $150 just for the application fee. Now, on top of the application fee, you have to make sure you pass a credit check. And if you don't pass the credit check, even though you paid the application fee, that money is gone. So we had to be very meticulous and very careful with who we apply to. First, we had to find out how much they're charging in rent. Most places we cannot afford, even in the area. Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I live pretty much in the hood, and I still can't afford it. The hood I can't afford. And so because of that, it was finding a needle in a haystack. Unfortunately, I had some people trying to assist that were doing what they could. Thanks to my now former social worker at my dialysis center, Jasmine, if you're watching, thank you for your help. Also, part of the RBN Orlando chapter, Tim. I would love to thank you as well for your help. You have also been a great source. And then everybody who's been a source of emotional and mental encouragement. So all my RBN people at RBN, Savvy, Nick, Rome, and also, even though he's no longer a member again, I also want to thank CJ. Yes, CJ has also been a help. Thank you. And I also want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the RBN Orlando chapter members. All of you who have been there to help me, Sabiha, Cam, Kevin, who's been helping out, and Lance, you too, because you've been very friendly and helping. Your moral support. So thank you so very much to everybody who has been, looking out. And then all of you who have also been inquiring and, wondering about how I'm doing. So the good news is we found a place. We found a place to go, and it is not going to be too far from where I'm currently at. And one of the things I want to talk about is that this shouldn't have happened. Reason why it shouldn't have happened is because housing should be guaranteed to every single human being in this country, nay, in this world. What I went through is what many people should not have to go through. And I cannot tell you how many people I've had on Twitter, on Facebook, on here in the comments telling me, JB, I'm going through the same thing. This should not be going on at all. You shouldn't have to go through it. I shouldn't have to go through it. None of our neighbors should have to go through it. We should have housing guaranteed in this country. because you're a human being. And housing is something that we need to live. Nothing that we need to live should be paywall. And call me a commie if you want to. I identify as it. I wear it as a badge of honor. But if you sit here and say, well, housing is a privilege, there's something wrong with you. And you need to look inward. So with all that being said, the stress and the despair that people have to go through just to get housing, I do not think is acceptable in this modern world. And so one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about, in line with this, is talking about what we like to call a housing first model. Now, as you guys can see, I am packing. So yeah, that's why I didn't bother to clean things up, because I'm packing. Y'all see I'm packing. It is what it is. I got stuff, you know. So, but the thing is that we shouldn't have to. Moving should be a time of happiness. If you're moving to something better, it should not be a time of stress where you're trying to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to survive. The survival should be assured. It should be a sure thing. You should not have to worry about eating. You should not worry about water. You should not worry about healthcare. You should not worry about education. You should not worry about housing. And I said it before, and I'll say it again to some of the people who are new, because I know a lot of y'all are new. If you have ever been homeless, or if you ever are, or if you're homeless right now, it is not your fault. Come at me in the comment section if you want to. I don't care. It is not your fault that you do not have housing. Housing is a human right. It should be guaranteed among all people. Enough said. Enough said. Does that sound very radical to you? If it sounds very radical to you, welcome to the channel, baby. That's one of the reasons why I am in this space. Because I am here to challenge what many of you conventionally think within a capitalist system. So, I'm going to back this up with something that I shared before, but I think it bears sharing again. And this video is literally over 2 years old. Shout out to JT Chapman. I would love to have JT on this. I'm going to try to reach out to him to have him on. But this is his video on second thought, talk about how Finland ended homelessness. Let's just go over it just a little.
About 600,000 people experience homelessness in the US. Think about your own life. You might not be homeless or necessarily even know someone who is or has been. But you certainly know someone paying too much for rent, someone having trouble finding a place to live, someone facing eviction. In other words, someone who could become homeless without much needing to go wrong. More and more Americans are joining this category every day. The truth is that in 95% of US counties, those who work a full-time minimum wage job cannot afford even a one-bedroom apartment.
Now, just one thing I want to share with you guys. Homelessness has jumped well over 12% since the beginning of 2023. Over 12% jump just in 2023 alone. This came out 2 years ago. So this was before the 12% jump in homelessness. So if it was already a pandemic, yes, I'll put it that way. If it was already a pandemic then, it's a pandemic now. It is even worse now. And on top of it, the fact is that our housing costs and our cost of living has went up so much, and it's become so much harder to find housing that people are at their wits' end and they have nowhere to go. Nothing could prepare you for what's to come 2 years ago. We knew that things were going to get worse, but at the rate it went so fast that now we're like, we didn't expect this to happen this soon. So yeah, let's continue.
Change that to a 2-bedroom, and the entire country becomes unaffordable. This situation is only getting worse. As a result of the pandemic, rising housing costs, wage stagnation, and the inadequate policies of our local and federal governments, the number of people experiencing homelessness and of people on the brink has been steadily growing for the past decade. That is, if you only look at the US. In this episode, we're looking at Finland's approach to homelessness, what housing first is, and what it could mean for the American economy. In Finland, only about 5,000 people, 0.1% of the population, are homeless. And that's even with the broadest definition of what constitutes homelessness, which includes more than who you typically think of when you hear the term. The Finnish definition of homelessness goes beyond just those who are living on the street or in emergency accommodations like shelters. In some cities, like the country's capital Helsinki, no one sleeps on the street. That type of homelessness has been completely eliminated. Compare that to the US's nearly 600,000 homeless people, which is almost exclusively so-called rough sleepers, those who live on the street, and the problem starts to become apparent. What's more important, though, is that homelessness isn't just low in Finland, it's actively going down.
Now, one of the things I want to talk about here is just because you're not on the street doesn't mean you're still not homeless. If you're sleeping on somebody's couch, you're homeless. If you are sleeping in a motel room out of duress, you're homeless. If you have to stay in a spare room or garage or what have you, out of duress, you're homeless. What do I mean by duress? Well, let's go to the dictionary definition of what duress is so that we know exactly what I mean, because I think that's really important. All right, just a quick Google search. The definition of duress is threats, violence, constraints, or other action brought to bear on someone to do something against their will or better judgment. Having to live somewhere where you don't necessarily desire is against your will, meaning that you are under duress, meaning that you are under the threat of being on the street. That's the way to live. So therefore, if you are living under duress on somebody's couch, if you're living on somebody's couch under duress, that means that you're living there not because you actually want to, but because that couch is better than being on the concrete street, on the concrete sidewalk. Thus, sleeping on that couch is still being homeless. Thus, sleeping in that motel room is still homeless. So there are way more than 600,000 people on the streets that are homeless. Way more. It's just they don't get counted because they have a roof over their head, but that roof over their head is really because they're under duress. Now, let's go back. Let's continue and let's see how Finland did it.
Between 2010 and 2018, Finland enjoyed a massive 40% decline in the homelessness rate. If it sounds like we're cherry-picking data, even during the pandemic, which, let me remind you, has caused a massive surge of homelessness in the US, homelessness in Finland did not increase. So what happened? How is Finland so effectively reducing homelessness? In 2007, the Finnish government started a national Housing First program. Housing First is a philosophy that argues that to make progress on homelessness, particularly chronic homelessness, you need more than temporary emergency solutions. You need permanent housing right out the gate. In other words,
he said, more than temporary emergency solutions, permanent housing right out the gate. A motel is not permanent housing. Sleeping on the couch is not permanent housing. Sleeping on the street is not permanent housing. You need permanent housing.
You need permanent housing right out the gate. In other words, housing is the starting point, not the end point. The way Housing First programs work is pretty simple. People experiencing homelessness receive independent housing immediately, without having to first fulfill mental health, sobriety, income, employment, or other requirements. Once they're housed, support services are offered, not imposed, and over time, the newly housed begin to finance part of the cost of their housing to the degree that they can afford it.
So there's no, oh, you have to get off of drugs first before we can give you housing. Oh, you have to get a job first before we give you housing. Oh, you have to go through this mental health program before we give you housing. No. House first, then everything else follows. House first, everything else follows. Housing is also a health issue. Because I think people really need to stop this thinking that housing is just centered in just this one encapsulated type of phenomena. No, it also involves other aspects of your life, right? And I think that we need to get our mind in how it all is connected, how it all is involved. There was somebody I follow on Twitter that made a great point, and this actually made me think about this morning. And I think yes, this tweet here really just surmised what some of the issues with housing is and how it's all connected. So this is from Akma X. He said, Friday morning, I met a gentleman in the emergency room that had his leg amputated last week after being struck by the train because he was homeless. He was released without rehab back into the streets. The first thing he did when he readmitted back into the ER was sleep. Why did he sleep? Do you know how difficult it is to get sleep when you're homeless? You're always on the guard for whenever someone may be trying to steal your stuff or to bother you. And so you always have to be awake, meaning a lot of homeless people, they're sleep deprived. Why do you think some of them have to turn to substance abuse? So they can stay up, so that they won't fall asleep. Also, they're in despair. Sometimes the substance abuse comes after homelessness, not before. It's not the reason why they became homeless. No, their homelessness is the reason why they may have picked up substance abuse. And even then, many people use different illicit substances in this world. Some of the substances that people use are things like caffeine and alcohol, and yet we don't demonize them. We don't make excuses in our mind why they shouldn't be housed. Some of y'all are addicted to sugar, and yet we don't make excuses to why you should be out in the street. Anywho, I digress. But they're out in the streets, right? And they need a bed to sleep in. That's what hospitals have. Beds. They have beds. And then, if you're in a bed in a hospital, who's coming to bother you? Nobody. So they have that peaceful sleep that they actually should have in the first place. I responded. Wait, he continues. He says, I noticed that half the people in the waiting room at Harlem Hospital were unhoused. Half the patients waiting in beds to be triaged were all unhoused. That shouldn't be. I responded. I said, this is another variable that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to healthcare. A housing first model will also save us money in healthcare. It's all connected. And in order to have a healthy population, people need housing, and it should be a fundamental right. He continues, responds to me. He says, it also highlights how little we humanize the unhoused. And no civilized world would a recently amputated individual be pushed into the world without care, let alone back into the streets and forced to figure it out. I responded again because I'm loving this conversation. Agreed. Actions like that are deemed immoral and really should spark outrage among everyone. I can't wait for the time when humans will be shocked that we ever had unhoused people. Our LGBTQ plus youth are overrepresented and unhoused young people as well. This tweet by Ahmed X was so good, I had to do a quote tweet. A housing first model would mean that we have less people that are unhoused in our emergency rooms, which would lower the amount of people in emergency rooms overall. This means lower wait times and less stress on medical staff and resources. It's all connected. So it would literally also save money in healthcare to house the people who are homeless. What a concept. House first, then everything else follows. When you have that stability, then the need, the necessity to try to self-medicate is alleviated. Just like trauma is a gateway drug, alleviating that trauma is a gateway cure. So if we take the gateway cure and apply it, because the gateway cure is always curing the underlying conditions as to why people do the things that they do, then boom, the necessity for these things goes away. The necessity for these different habits and diseases of despair that stem from it are cured. And people go, oh, it's not that simple. Yes, it is that simple. When by they, I mean the parasite class, don't want you to think it's that simple because they want you to stay where you are. They want you to stay lost. That's like going to a friend's house and you want to get to the friend's house, but you don't know how to get there. And somebody goes, it's so complex to get there. But then when you have somebody come in and go, well, no, all you got to do is just go these particular directions and you're there. Then you start to look at the other person who said it was complex. And why did they tell you it's complex when really it's actually very simple? Because they never wanted you to go there in the first place. That's how it works. The parasite class does not want you to know how to get there. And they don't want you to realize how simple it really is. It's simple, baby. House first, then stability. With that stability comes, everything else follows. Feed people, and then they'll have the mental clarity and emotional clarity to be able to think, oh, well, all I got to do is do these simple things. People go, well, if you feed a person a fish for a day, you can feed a fish for a day. Feed a person a fish, you feed them for a day. But if you teach them to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. I say, no, feed them first, then teach them so that they have the mental clarity to learn. And if you have to feed them a second day until they learn, feed them a second day. And if you got to feed them a third day, feed them until they learn. And if you got to back off a little bit on how much fish you feed them, all right, fine. But you feed them until they actually learn it so that they won't have to keep depending on you. But then at the same time, you teach them just in case you need to depend on them. That's what it's about. And so when people talk about, we got to pull ourselves by our bootstraps, that's impossible. Do me a favor. If you have on shoes, try to do this. If you got on shoes with laces, try to lift your entire body off the ground just by your shoelaces. All on your own. Do it. Do it. Do it. Are you doing it? Are you trying? Pretty impossible, isn't it? The notion of lifting yourselves up by your bootstraps is originally created because it's an impossible task to do. Because no human being has ever gotten themselves to a better place materially without the assistance of other human beings. That is the truth. No one in this world has ever or will ever be self-made. This is why society and community are absolutely paramount and important. And that's what you guys have done for me. And this is why I'm so grateful. And it's not just the physical or the material, it's also the emotional and the mental, how you all have helped me and assisted me in this. And it led to me being able to share this good news with you today. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And this is why I talk about things like housing first so much. Because number one, I don't want to go through it. And yes, I know what it's like to be homeless, and I know what it's like to be a homeless child. And nobody should ever have to go through that. Not you, not your neighbor, not your family member, not your friends, not the people that you don't even know who are on the other side of the planet. Nobody should ever have to go through that. And I am constantly trying to fight for a world where nobody will ever have to say they're unhoused again. And I know it will happen in the future. I may not live to see it, but I know it will happen. And that's what I'm hopeful and grateful for. So if you guys have any questions of how, things are going to be like, the room design and things like that, I can talk about stuff like that if you guys would like to. Also, if you guys have not, please make sure to like the stream. That pushes me out into the algorithm. Thank you so very much. Also, just to give you guys a shout out to the patrons on Patreon and Coffee. Without you guys, I would not be able to do this work. You guys have made this transition so much more easier. I just want to thank you so very much to all of you for this, because honestly, I am super grateful. So thank you to patrons, Mega Jaybefaunters, Super Duper Jaybefaunters, Super Jaybefaunters, Jaybefaunters, Comrade, and Solidarity and members. Uh-oh, I got to change it. I got to fix that. But thank you so very much to everybody. And thank you to also new members as well. It is deeply appreciated. Now, if any of you would like to help out further with moving expenses, because every little bit helps, I also put my Venmo and CashApp in the description along with my PayPal. If you guys want to help in a different way, you guys can help by becoming patrons on Patreon. That also helps too as well. I deeply appreciate it. If you guys would like to just, you guys can share the stream or what have you. Or if you guys are on Twitter, you guys can also share my GoFundMe as well if you guys would like to. But, I am just really grateful for, all that you guys have done, and it means the world. So, yes, let's go to the chat. Actually, let me check Rockfin first. Okay, I'm going to check Rockfin first, and then we'll go into the rest of the regular chat. Oh, by the way, let me share this with y'all too. Yes, unfortunately, my channel is also demonetized. So, unfortunately, that's the way it is. So, yes, that's another variable that a lot of people don't realize. So, if you guys see my channel grow, you guys are like, well, JB's monetized, well, you should be able to get money from ad revenue. No, I don't. Not at all. So if you guys would like to support the channel, you can support it via Patreon or PayPal. So thank you very much for that. Now, let's go to the Rockfin chat. All right. Oop. Thank you very much for the tip on Rockfin. Roger, he says, Jay, I have a poll question for the audience here. Which one carries more force? A citizen-initiated constitutional amendment for 1, making housing a human right, or 2, outlaw and make unconstitutional the charging of residential housing that you will never own, or 3, neither. I have something better. I pick 2. Neither. Okay, so I have something better. I pick 2. That's interesting. Audience, which one do you guys think? Which one carries more force? A citizen-initiated constitutional amendment. That's number 1. Make housing a human right. Or 2, outlaw and make unconstitutional the charging of residential housing that you will never own. So which one do you guys think? I think that'll be an interesting thing to put in there. So let's go to the chat. All right. Interesting, John H. says, I went from alcohol to sugar because acceptable. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Let's go to the next. Let me see. Soul Construct says, which presidential candidate has as their agenda house the homeless? Um, the two that I know, well, actually, there's three that I know of. It would be Dr. Joe Stein, Dr. Cornel West, and Jasmine Sherman. Well, I think Claudia De La Cruz has it too, but the person who has the most ballot access right now with the biggest chance is Dr. Joe Stein. So yes, housing for all, housing first model, those four technically have it. Yes. The Quantum Alchemist says the power of mental health. Sometimes it can be never underestimate two things. One, stress and mental health and burnout. Never underestimate just how bad that can be for your body. Yes, it's all physiological and also has a big effect on all of us. Amanda says the lobbies are destroying America. Changing the food supply is hugely emotional for people, and yet it needs to be done. We need to focus on nutrient-dense foods. We need government to shape up. Yes, we need more nutrient-dense foods. I definitely agree with that. The Quantum Alchemist says, two, placebo. Once again, don't underestimate the effect of placebo and what a positive mental health can do to help literally heal your body again. Yes, thank you very much for that. See, Nichelle says, I was always hungry in school and I can never really focus. Exactly. This is why I think free breakfast and free lunch is absolutely necessary in school. And also, if you think about it, so many kids in school, they got so used to not having breakfast to the point that they just conditioned themselves to not eat breakfast in the morning. So yeah. How's that working out for us? Let me see. Give Money says the shame is the real killer. Yeah, shaming people for making them feel like that, oh, you are a failure in life just because you're unhoused, when in reality, homelessness is not an individual problem. It is a systemic problem. You cannot fix systemic problems with individual solutions. Geraldine Warren says, especially when they take the bootstraps away from us. Oh yes. Absolutely. Good to see you, Justin B. All right. Let me see. Peace Dove says, come together, power to the people. Yes, thank you so very much. Good to see you, Cynic Girl, watching on the Twitter side. Yes, I still call it Twitter. I don't call it X. I don't care about what Elon has to say. Desert Manson says, let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. Yes, absolutely. I would, but it would make my screen darker. All right. Bad Wolf says, Lenin thought he wouldn't see a revolution in his lifetime, but he did. Yeah, it's true. Vladimir Lenin, one of the good ones. V.S. Adams says, Minstrone, just planning to see. Congrats, Jay and Mom. Yes, thank you so very much. Robbie Burns says you could get one of those backgrounds you can throw videoscapes on, like kids at HLN. I don't really want to, though. Like, I like just my natural background. You know, I'm actually going to do my background a lot more nicer when I get to the new place. I'm going to do some stuff, so I can't wait to get on that. Let me see. Indy is here. Good to see you, Indy. Indie News Network. If you guys aren't following them on their channel, please make sure to give them a follow. They actually do really great work on there and great reporting on a lot of different things. And also, Jesse Jett was on Savvy Sabs on Thursday night. That was a treat. He's also part of Indie News Network. So go ahead, and we have Rick Solis coming in saying hello to everybody. Good to see you, Rick. All right, let me see. Just trying to get some other. Retro Gamer says, I'm a millennial and still live with my parents, and my older sister and bro-in-law live upstairs. And my thing is, like, if you're doing that under duress, you're homeless. And here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with realizing, coming to terms with the fact that you're homeless, because it is not your fault. It is a systemic problem, not an individual one. You are, and I'm saying this to everybody, you are not less of a person, and you are not less valuable because of being in that situation. It is a systemic problem, not your issue. You can do what you can to fight against it, right? But it is not your fault, because this issue should have been rectified years ago. It should have been rectified as a society, and it wasn't, because our system, our government is not controlled by us. Where should we start with the control? Well, I don't know. We can start off with the central bankers, the big bankers, the people who own, our politicians. That's who it is. People said 1 and 2 both. 1 and 2 honestly, like, do both. Why can't we do both? So that's your yeah, Roger. Everybody's saying everybody's saying both. Yeah, I say we can do both, like a 1-2 punch. I would like to see a 1-2 punch in that, making housing the absolute human right. Housing first. I think that homelessness should be illegal in the way that anybody who's out on the streets should not have that happen to them. Everybody should have housing. And everyone who has housing or who says no, right? It typically is because it's almost like, I can't believe that they're actually going to do it and give it to me. But yes, everyone should have housing, and keep offering it to them until they say yes. So absolutely. And so, yes, that's one of the reasons why, I also wanted to talk about this. I have some stories that I'll be talking about once I'm fully moved. And just as an announcement to you guys, I will not be live for RBN tomorrow, and I will not be live this Tuesday for this channel. The reason being is because I will be busy packing and moving. So unfortunately, I will not be able to do any type of streams. I hope you guys understand and forgive me for that, but no streams. The only stream I'll do next week is because we have a guest. I'll be on the Savvy and JB show next Thursday. But yes, I'll be doing that. But that's the only thing I'll be doing. And I'll probably end up doing like 90 minutes tops, and then I'll have to dip out. So yeah. But outside of that, I won't be doing any content. This is the only one I'm doing right here. And let me see. I'll be heading out in a second. But I just wanted to give this announcement. Yes, Bryce says INN covers a lot of what's not talked about too. Yeah. Janice says, what fast food chains are charging now? You're better off sitting down at a real restaurant and having a nice meal, better quality food, nicer experience for roughly the same amount. Yes. Laura says, hi, JB. I hate how much America hates feeding the hungry, especially children. Yes. Do all things with love says, always good to count your blessings regardless of circumstance. I agree. Gratitude and gratefulness is a beautiful thing. Candles Boat says, I just finally got an apartment after 3 years of doubling up homelessness. Congratulations, Candles Boat. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing. Cynic Girl said, it's so hard and perpetuating. The less resources you have, the more you lose. Absolutely, Cynic Girl. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Roger Meadows is asking, but which one question has the more force? I think that's also a really good question. All right. So got Daryl coming in. All right. P Stuff says, are you moving to another state? No, I'm not. Like I said, it's not going to be that much far. It's not going to be that far away from where I currently am. So yeah. But it's a decent place. And then, all right. So yes, that's what's happening right now. I just wanted to give you guys that update about what's going on with me. I didn't expect this stream to go this long, but I just wanted to, give you guys this news. And yes, thank you so very much, everybody. Retro Gamer says, so happy you and your mom found a place. Me too. I did not know what I was going to do. And we'll be officially start moving in a couple days. We're finishing up packing now. I have friends coming over tomorrow. Some members of RB and Orlando chapters coming tomorrow. Thank goodness, to help with the packing. That was very kind of them. They offered. And have some family coming in to help as well. Because between dialysis next week and moving, it's going to be a lot on me. So yeah. And then I have some stuff I want to do for the place. One of the things I want to do, and it's not expensive, but I just want to do some house plants in my room and put them in the background. Plus, that's also producing more oxygen for the room. And then it's also aesthetically nice. And then it puts me around more nature. So I want to do that. So I'm going to try to do something like that. And there's a independently owned plant nursery down the street that I'm going to go to. And I'm going to try to, talk to them and see like what, type of plants it will be best for me. It's kind of low maintenance, but also really aesthetically nice, for my room. So I want to do that too. So, yeah. Dwayne says my lease runs out 5 days and I haven't heard from my landlord on renewing it. That's what happened to me. Look, keep being like, where's my lease? Are you guys going to renew? Are you guys going to renew? Like, do not just like keep going and be like, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but be a pain in their side and be like, where's the new lease? And if they don't give you that new lease, then that means you might be going on a month to month or something like that. You may want to start looking. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So that's what happened. So yeah. So yes. Now, just to let you guys know, if anybody wants to, because I don't have super chats anymore. If you guys want to, you guys can send something on PayPal, or if you guys want to, you guys can send something on Venmo or CashApp. That's what I have. I don't have super chats. So sorry, guys. But I appreciate all of you guys who have, did what you could to assist me. Snake plants. Hang on, what's a snake plant? Let me take a look. Oh, that's a snake plant. I've seen those before. Those are house plants too, right? Hang on. Let me share the screen just so that people know what I'm looking at. So I'm trying to see like what plants. Okay. That looks nice though. I can probably do a snake plant. I also heard a lot of people said spider. People said spider. That's nice too. Um they said that having something like that in the house as well, having a house plant. So yeah, I can have something like that. But yeah, I want something really nice that I can have in the room as well. So Justin, I'm not monetized on YouTube anymore. I dare showed what was actually going on the ground in Gaza, and YouTube basically gave me a warning, and then they took my monetization away. So I'm permanently demonetized. I cannot, no ad revenue, no super chats, nothing like that. Yeah. English Ivy. English Ivy. Hang on. Images. Oh, you know what I was thinking? Okay, let me share. You know what I was thinking when it comes to English Ivy, the way it looks? I was thinking about taking almost like, one of those palettes and making it like a wall of palette, and then the wall of palette I just had because it looks like a vine species, and have it grow up the palette, so it's like that, and then take like, I don't know, maybe some lights, some like white Christmas lights, and put it over it, and then have the white Christmas lights on top, so that you have, and the Christmas lights are, those are, oh my God, those are LED, so they don't heat up, but they get to about body temperature heat. That's as hot as LED lights get. So you have that, and it's not going to be harmful to the plant, but it's also going to be like kind of light, kind of like sparkly. And I was thinking about having that, something like that as a background too. I'm not sure. I don't know, but that's right. It's an idea. Oh, Stacy says, I'm not sure if it climbs, but it definitely drapes. Okay, thank you. But that's something I'm thinking about. But I definitely want to do a good amount of like plants, foliage in my room. So I'm going to try to do that because I want to do that. Pothos is awesome. What's that? Hang on. Oh, we had this in the house before. Yeah, I had this in the house before. That was pretty easy to take care of, to be honest with you. All you really had to do was water it and have it near a window. I'm thinking about getting that again because we had that when I was a preteen teenager, when in my mom's house. I'm thinking about having that again, and they're easy. You just take a leaf and then just put it in, and it'll just chia. So yeah, and yes, Florida humidity, yeah, definitely. And the windows are pretty big, so can definitely let a lot of light in. Though I think the room I'll have, I think it faces west. I think it faces west. So, but yeah, I'll gauge exactly which one. But yeah, but that's what I want to do. Yes, EMK. That's what this stream is about. Yeah, we found a place, and it's not too far from where I'm at. It's actually closer to my dialysis center, which is nice. So I'll be closer to there, so which means I won't have to travel as far, which is good. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. But I gotta get going because I gotta finish. This was kind of my break essentially, but I got it finished. One of the things I did already is I got my closet pretty much packed. Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, I found this hack. Hang on, wait a second. Let me show you. So when you're moving, let me get a smaller one. All right, so when you're moving and you want to move all your clothes that are on the hangers, don't take them off the hangers at all, right? So you get a trash bag, and once you get a trash bag, you fold the trash bag long ways in half, and right at that corner, you snip a hole, right? At the corner. And then you open the trash bag fully, you put your hand through, and you grab your trash bags. You grab the hangers with your hands through the hole of the trash bag, and then put the trash bag over it, and it fits over. And then what you do is you tie it at the bottom. So then all of your clothes that are still in the hanger are in the trash bag. And then once you get to your place, all you have to do is, this is already ripped anyway, so all you got to do is rip it down and it comes right off, and you just toss it away in the trash. But this way, you can still keep your clothes on the hangers. You don't have to take them off the hangers. And then once you get into your new place, hang it up, rip this open, and then throw the trash bag away. Bam! Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So just so you guys know, that's a way to keep it up. So let me put this back. Thing is heavy. So yeah, that's a way to also, that's a hack, a moving hack, so you guys won't have to do it. We moved a lot in the past, so we know. And I'm trying to think of any other moving hacks that I know of that you guys can. Trying to think. Not too sure right now. If I think of some, I'll share with you guys. But also utilize your luggage. If you have luggage, utilize it. Use that if so you won't have to keep using more boxes, right? Oh. Medical facilities have lots of boxes. Because a lot of people, they go to like the stores, they're like, oh, let's go to the stores. Medical facilities have a ton of boxes. So look at dialysis centers, look at outpatient clinics, and see if they have boxes. Try to see if you can talk to somebody at the hospital. See if they have boxes. They have tons of boxes. So try to go there. Don't you dare go out and buy no box. Also, go to, I'm gonna say this name of this store first because I think they're a worker co-op. But Ace Hardware, go to places like Ace Hardware, and if you don't have an Ace Hardware, wherever, you can try to go to the more mom and pop hardware stores. But go there and buy furniture dollies. Get at least 2 furniture dollies, right? You know, the wooden ones with the wheels. Get those. And then you can use those. Those are very universal. You can use it for a lot of different things. You can just sit boxes on top and then roll boxes where you need to go. Get yourself some furniture dollies. We got 2. This was when we weren't even moving. Well, we needed to move some stuff, but it wasn't like us trying to move households. But that is valuable. You know, I think that was $15 per dolly, maybe less. And we spent like $30 on 2 furniture dollies, and you'll have them forever. And then also, if you can, make sure to get yourself a regular like dolly if you want something like that. But that'll also really, really, really help. Yeah. So furniture dollies, make sure you always have, and they don't take up a whole lot of space. They're kind of, they're about that high with the wheels, and you can just put it someplace behind someplace, so you guys can always have it. Yeah, so you guys can do that. So make sure to get yourself a dolly as well. And yeah, I can't think of anything else, but I'm gonna get going because I am way over time. But I want to thank you guys. Once I get back and once I get moved in, I'll start doing the readings of all the books again. Yeah. Roger says Ace Hardware is a retail cooperative. I took Sergio to the hospital last night. Is he okay? Please let me know, because I'm kind of concerned about that. Wow. Let me know. Being a dialysis patient, man, things suck sometimes. Let me go to the Rockfin chat. I got a couple more Rockfin chats. Make sure I get into that too before I head out. Thank you, Laura Beza, for the tip. And Laura Beza, I love that tip. Thank you, JB. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Omar Ron says you should read the autobiography of Malcolm X. Yes, I want to get into that too. I read Assata Shakur's autobiography. If you guys would like to see the discussion and reading of that book, that's also on my playlist. But I read Assata Shakur's autobiography already. I would like to read the autobiography of Malcolm X as well. I think that would be great. But yes. So, yeah. So, also, got to get a new washer because it only allows for a front-loading washer. That sucks. I don't really want to have to do that, but Also, do you guys, what's the best brand for a front-loading washer? Because I don't want to get something that's going to break down very easily. Planned obsolescence and all that. And plus, then you also have the gasket that you have to keep clean and dry. If not, it starts to get that mildew smell. Yeah. Anyway, so just looking to see what Roger said. Roger says his back was hurting. I will check on him, but I'll give him a call. Okay. All right. Keep me up to date, man. And let him know I said hello. I think I have his number though. I'll try to text him at least. All right. Samsung? Really? I don't know if they'll have that. I'm going to go to this place where this guy sells them, and he repairs the ones that he gets, and then he resells them. That's why I was going to go, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, always leave the door open. Wait, always leave the door open to let it dry out. Okay. Yeah. Well, the problem is it's not necessarily a requirement. It's that in the laundry closet, the shelf is so low that a top loader won't be able to be put in. That's how they designed it, and you can't move the shelf up. So because it's literally like bolted into the wall, so you can only do a front loader. Which to me, it's like, you guys shouldn't do that. You guys should give everybody the option to either have a top loader or a front loader. But that's my only gripe about the place. That's like, it's not that big of a gripe. And my thing is, like, we have a working washer. I'm gonna see if he can actually take off some of the price of a front loader washer for the washer that we have, because the top loader we have is great. It's a Maytag, right? And we didn't buy it brand new. No. And it's a Maytag, and it works really good. And so I don't want to get rid of it, Damn. Anyway. But yeah, I'll try to see what I can get. Anyway, I'm talking to y'all too long. I gotta get going. Man, plus I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today. Only thing I had was a couple popsicles. You know, the fruit kind. Those are good. Anyway, so let me head on out. Anywho, look, like I always say, water your plants, water yourselves, leave the world better than you found it. You know, smoke them if you got them, drink if you got them. If you ain't got them, then watch something funny because joy is revolutionary. And yeah, I did not mean to do that. Thank you so very much to everybody for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to tune in. I think it's Memorial Day weekend, so not a lot of people are actually going to be streaming, but you know, keep an eye out. I know Savvy's not streaming tomorrow because it's Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, you guys won't see me on Thursday, but be sure to tune in. I think Nick will be live on Monday on RBN, and I know Savvy is going to be live on Tuesday on RBN. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I also have some YouTube shorts coming out as well. So thank you very much to everybody. I love you all for watching. Mwah! Forehead kisses to every single one of you. Thank you again for all your help, for all your assistance. It means the world to me. Thank you from the top and bottom of my heart. And take care. Love you always. Good night. Thank you so very much for watching my channel, and I deeply appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. If you wish to support the channel further, so I can keep bringing you content that is educational and informative, you can become a patron on patreon.com/Jaybefaunt. You can find that link in the pinned comment or in the description below. No matter what you give, you'll be supporting independent media and education that helps make the world better. Thank you so much, and you can watch more of my content here. Mwah. Forehead kisses, and have a beautiful day.